Okay, let's get into a quick mock-up of the table setup. So for graduation, I'm going to take you from left to right, but understand one thing first is that this is one table setup, but you'll have multiple tables set up, so you'll have product that's spread out just a slightly differently. Usually we have a bucket of roses on each corner and we just move that way, but starting from the left, you've got cards here. These are enclosure cards and envelopes. Those are free with the purchase of any flowers or gifts. Often people just want to use them and they write a little congratulations or a note to their loved one, put it in their flowers or maybe in their bear, and then they give it to their graduate. There's some free candy here on the left as well. Sometimes we have free keychains, and those are just for the guests. For the people who purchase product are welcome to have a free card or candy or keychain with anything that they order. Those come in a box that look like this. So when you get your box, you're just going to pull them out. There's envelopes in here. There's enclosure cards that are in packages like this, and you'll just get them out and you'll set them up so that customers can get them. You always want to set those up on the side of the table so that when you're doing transactions, customers can go and do that when they're done purchasing their goods. You don't want them holding the table up in the lineup from other people being able to purchase things. So put it on this side. You'll have a couple pins on this side for them to be able to use, and then you can keep doing transactions on your other side. Then you'll have your bear set up in rows like this along the table, maybe one here and one on the other end. The bears are bagged here, and we'll show that in a different training video of how to bag the bears. Sometimes we bag them, sometimes not. But this is the idea that you'll see them set up in rows. Your roses will be over here in buckets. Like I said, on the ends, you'll have bouquets of roses that are filled up in those buckets. You always want to keep those full on the ends of the table, and people can choose from the different colors that they want when graduation starts. All the roses are the same price, so they'll just be able to choose the different color that they want. A couple quick things about setup of equipment real quick. This is a Leis stand, and I'm just going to show you how to set that up really quick. So a Leis stand is just basically made out of wood, and it's got holes in the two sticks, in the base and in one of the sticks, and then one holds it up. So you just put the main stick in the base, and then you put the top on. It looks like that. It has a little hole in there, so you just put it on and you just move it back and forth until you got a nice good fit. Move it to the front, and now you can display your leis like this on the stand. You can have different kinds of leis. It's good to group the leis by their type. So for example, I think if you put your fresh flower leis, maybe two fresh flower leis on one side, and then you could put your shell leis and ribbon or other types of leis on the other side. You'll have to find what works best and what displays best, but that's a basic idea of how you would set that up. Goes in the middle. The rest of your product you're going to set up on the table in between, and that's how you'll set that part up. And then we have one other piece I want to show you, and I'm just going to slide this to the side for a minute, and that is setting up the price sheet so that people know that you can buy with cash or card. The prices are on the back, and that's actually for you and the associates, people who are doing the selling, so that you know the prices to be able to explain to the customers how much each item costs. To set that up, I take this acrylic piece here. It's got an aluminum base that holds it up so that it can stand up. To get that on, it's a little tricky, so you got to move the acrylic to the end of a table wherever you are. And then this aluminum opens up, and it's got pressure, so it closes back up. So you're just going to open it up with two hands if you need to, or one hand, and try to keep it open. And then move it to the bottom of your acrylic. Put it on the bottom, let it go, and it'll snap shut. So now it's grabbed the bottom, and now my base is assembled with the acrylic, and you can put that on your table, somewhere next to the bears maybe. Put your table back together. Keep your items displayed nicely. And that's a basic setup for your table. Now you're going to have, obviously, your credit card reader and your phone. You're also going to have an apron. So we talked about setting up apron. Maybe we'll talk about that in the next module. But for now, this is a basic setup of how you're going to set up your table. Okay, now that we've got our table set up, let's go over getting you set up for taking transactions with both cash and card. And this will be the cash portion. We don't use cashier drawers. We're going to use an apron to take cash. So you'll have a money apron here. You're going to have 3-pocket apron in the middle. I normally take my starting drawer cash, and we normally start you with $100 in either $5 bills or $10 bills. And this is so that you can be able to give change when people give you a large bill like 100 or a 50. so that you can give them change. And so I start by using my middle pocket for my drawer cash. I use my large bills like my 20s and hundreds in my left and my ones and other strange things and coins in the right. So everybody's welcome to choose what setup works best for you. That's what works best for me. So you're going to then take your apron. You want to put your apron on. The best way to put this apron on is to turn it backwards because it's got these long strings here, and you're going to make just a normal shoelace knot. At least this is the easiest way I've found. And then I spin it back around, and then I'm ready to take transactions. So now I've got my pockets here, I've got my drawer cash ready to go, and you're ready to take transactions. Okay, so I'm going to take you through doing a transaction now, a cash transaction, that we can do it the right way. Let's say, for example, that we have this orchid lei that someone wants to purchase, and it's $30. The customer walks up and they hand me $40. I'm not going to put the $40 in my pocket. I'm going to take the customer's $40 and I'm going to place it on the table in front of me so that both me and the customer can see that their money's on the table and that's the amount that they gave me, so there's no confusion. It's important to try to focus on one customer at a time because people will bombard you from the right and left, handing you money or taking things at the same time, and it creates confusion and can create an opportunity for something to get lost or stolen or just by mistakenly taken, or the money could get mistaken about what you receive. So really simply, take the customer's money, put it on the table in front of you, get their change out. So in this case, I'm going to take $40 minus $10 is their change, right? So $40 minus the $30 is $10 in their change. I'm going to give them their $10 back. I'm going to hand that to them. And as soon as they've got their change back, then I'm going to pick up the money. I'm going to put it in the appropriate pocket where I'm keeping it, ensuring that it doesn't come out either, because sometimes money can fall out as you start to take a lot of money. So make sure you push it down deep into your apron pocket, and then the transaction is complete. The customer has their money, the customer has their product now, you have the payment, they have their change, and the transaction is complete, and there's no misunderstanding. So that's the simplest way to do it. Keep track of your money and inventory. Make sure you're doing transactions slow and you're paying attention to one customer at a time to ensure that there's less errors and less problems when you're dealing with people. People are in a rush. They're going to be nervous and anxiety, and we want to try to help it to be a calm, good situation for them and for us, and to make sure we get the inventory and the money right. Okay, I'm just going to take you through two quick setup items, and one is bagging the leis. So when you have fresh flower leis, oftentimes we will bag them if customers would like them to be bagged, and so I'm going to show you how to do that. The bags are universal, meaning they're used for both the bears and for the leis. So you're going to receive a package that looks like this, and these are the bags. They're guested polyethylene bags, something like that. Take the bag out, put your hand inside to open it up. It's basically a cellophane lei bag. And you're going to open that bag up a little bit. You're going to take your lei, all right? You're going to lift your lei up, and you're going to let it drop down inside the bag. And then it's going to look something like that in the bag, and then you're going to set it down on your table and set it back up. Notice that one end is closed and one end is open. When the customer's ready, they're going to take it out of the bag, put it on their graduate, and then they're ready to go. And that's how you're going to get them their lei bag. Next, the bear. Let's take a bear here, for example, this one. I'm going to take the same bag. I'm going to open this cellophane lei bag up and give it some room. Opening the bag up, I'm going to take my little bear, graduation bear, making sure he's got his cap and his gown looking good, and I'm going to slide him inside the bag. All right, I'm going to make sure he's sitting at the bottom of the bag. I'm going to take the top and I'm going to sort of fold this gently together like that, and I'm going to use these twist ties to tie the top. I'm going to try to center this at the top with the bear. I'm not going to do it so tight that he can't move. I'm going to leave it a little bit loose so the bear has room and I can press this down and it leaves the bag a little bit loose. I don't want to make it so tight that the bear falls over and that it looks a little strange. So leave a little bit of room at the top, grab your bear twist tie, and then you're going to just wrap it around and wrap it around again and twist it like that, and then you just fold it under itself, and you should have something similar to this, and the bear should be a nice little cute bear, and he's ready to go. And then you'll do that with all your bears and set them up on the table, and you'll do this a few at a time. So you'll do your Leis, your bears, and then you'll start setting them out on the table, prepping for customers to come and purchase their gifts. Okay, we're going to go through one last thing here, which is on occasion we do need to make bouquets. 90% of the time you will receive the bouquets already made, and so you don't need to do this step. But there is the rare occasion where you will need to make a bouquet. So I'm just going to teach you really quick how to put it together. It's very simple. So we use roses and we use inserts, sometimes baby's breath, sometimes solidago. Usually there's, for example, if there's a 6-stem rose bouquet, you're going to take your roses and your insert and you're going to put them all together. So I've got roses, insert, I've got a bouquet sleeve. This is called a bouquet sleeve, and it is cellophane just like the other bags. You're going to tear off the end piece at the bottom there. So I've got my cellophane sleeve. I've got rubber bands here. I'm going to take my roses, and in this case these are not real, but in your case they will be real roses. You're going to take your roses and arrange them nicely against the backdrop of the insert, if that's baby's breath or whatever that may be, so you'll look something like that. Then you're going to take your sleeve, you're going to open it a little bit like this, and then you're going to slide your flowers in. And what you want to do is you want to try to arrange your flowers just so that they're at the very tip of the bag, so that your roses are there. In this case, your baby's breath's coming out, but most of the time you don't want it to go out more than 2 inches above the bag, the edge of the bag here. So in this case it is a little bit, but you understand the idea. You'll take your rubber band, once that's aligned and everything looks good, you'll take your rubber band and you can either do it one time and another time, or I like to do it this way. I just fold it in half, I make it a double, I twist my roses to the end of my table, I take the bottom and I just slide it right on top of the bottom there. And I go up about the length of my hand on the stem, dress the roses so they look nice. So, and then there, at that point, you have a finished bouquet. So here you can see the bouquet looks nice. It's almost at the edge there. And that's a finished bouquet.